Hey everyone, we're going to get started. My name is Russell Buchanan, and I certainly appreciate you guys taking the time to attend this webinar. We're going to talk about auto comments, advanced auto comments. I'm actually going to go over some of the basics. I need to just to bring in some of the more advanced uses of our comments. So Shancy is going to be manning the chat area. So somewhere there near your bottom of your little box, you should be able to type in and ask her questions. What I'm going to do is stop a little bit every now and then and see if we have some questions that we can ask and or have asked or answer. So some of you guys have got mics, we can let you ask the question as we get further along. All right, so one thing I want to mention, and also this microphone, if you guys aren't hearing it well, if it sounds too loud or something, type it to Shancy and she can tell me because she's sitting here beside me. We have a webinar we've already done on auto comments, the basic use of them, and actually Shancy did that one. That's on her website. So she spent a lot of time at each little button and describing it, and so it's well worth watching that. If you guys, I know I got some of you guys that are here that are new, so like I said, I'm going to go over some of this stuff, but this is the more advanced class, so I'm just going to hope that you guys can follow along. It's not that big of a deal. It's not really that hard once you understand it. So you guys are looking at my screen here. I've got the HomeGauge software up. And, picking a template out, we just select template, and we'll pick this residential by system, open it up. Over here on our left are our sections, and in the middle here is our inspection items. And kind of showing you just a little bit, this right here is your template changing toolbar. So as long as you want to change your template, you can use this toolbar here to make a lot of changes. Styles and materials is this tab here. Here's where you can select your styles and material. Overview, we'll touch a little bit on this shortly, but this is our header and footer, and you can you can make your own or edit these. I'll go over those shortly here. General info, here's where your comment key and definitions are. And again, it has a little magic wand. This gets you to your auto comment library, and we'll go over some of that as well. And at each inspection item, so we go to roofing, go to inspection items. We're at roof coverings right now because it's highlighted. Here's flashings, roof drainage systems. So when I hit this little magic wand, that takes me to my local list that only has the auto comments for roof drainage systems. That's the only auto comments I have stored here. So at each item, we call this our local list. So if I go to exterior and I go to windows and then I hit the little magic wand, that'll be our local list here for windows. Okay, and so that's our local list. Let me go up here and show you our global list. I'm going to go up here to template, all comments. And this is what we call our global list. You can see it right here, global list. So as I click down this folder tree here, you'll start to see different auto comments. And that's where all your auto comments are stored. So every comment you have in HomeGauge is stored in one place, and it's stored here at the global list. Okay, so here's electrical, and then if I go to connected devices and fixtures, I can look over here and see the different comments I've got. On comments, I have your regular standard comments, and then we have these that look a little odd. These are your smart words or smart sentences, which we're going to go over on this webinar on how to edit them, how to make your own, how to use them, and your regular standard drop downs. So the template all comments here at the global list is where all your comments are stored, and at each item, when you click this little magic wand, you're seeing just the comments for that item. Now if you look, when I click, let me just go here to roofing for a minute and go to roof drainage systems, and I'm going to select my magic wand. This gets me to my local list. If I want it to get to my global list, I would use this plus bar here. It says insert comment from the global list. So here's where I would go up and get to my global list, and if I decided to either make an, let me just go to exterior drainage. So here's where my gutter comments are stored, and if I wanted to, I could, actually I think I'm wrong. Let me go to roofing, sorry. Drainage and gutters. All right. So if I wanted to add a new comment, I would select this plus bar here, and then now I can type me a new comment. And let me just type in the gutters are rusted. All right, so when I select OK, then it falls down. You can see it. I'm still in my global list, and when I select OK again, you can see right above OK it says unused comment, because it's not being used yet. But as soon as I select OK again, now it falls down into the local list. So there's roof drainage system. Here's my comments for roof drainage, and there's the comment I made. So now, next time I select this, next time I have this inspection item and select this auto comment, and we can scroll down to the bottom, there it is, the gutters are rusted. So this is a little bit of a demonstration on the difference between a global list and a local list. And the idea is that you can make all your comments in the global list by going to template all comments, and you can come in here and go to the section you want and click add and make you a bunch of auto comments. The negative to doing it that way is they're still stored up at your global list. They're not actually down in the local. So personally, and I know it just depends upon the individual, I prefer to start at the local list and go up and make my comment and bring it down, just like I did on the roof drainage. You could go to your magic wand, and you look around and you say, you know, I don't have the comment I want to make one. You click the plus bar, and then you go to where you want it stored at. In this case, I would go to drainage and gutters under roofing, and then I would select the add button, type in my comment, and as I select OK and OK myself down, it comes down into my local list. And that's how I would suggest you make your comments. Okay, now excuse me. Let's go back to global list for a minute. I'll go deeper in a minute. I just kind of want you to understand global, and I'm going to go to template all comments. Here I am in the global list again, and let's look at this list for just a minute. We have electrical, exterior, heating, and over here on our left we have electrical system, heating, and air, and we also, you know, have similar sections. But these sections here are not actually tied to your template as far as your section items. They don't connect, and the reason why is we allow you to manipulate this or modify this folder tree, because some of you guys have a lot more comments than what you get when you start off with this template. And you can use these buttons down here, add, edit, delete, to make more subfolders or new folders, and then you can store your comments in subfolders. And let me show you why that makes sense. Let me click cancel, come over here to components, excuse me, and then I'm going to go to add. I'm going to use my template changing toolbar, and I'm going to click add, and then I'm going to just type in extra building. Select OK, extra building. So now I have a new section called extra building. Obviously, if you were making a new section when you got through, you want to hit this Save T icon. But we're going to go into the inspection items for extra building, and we don't have any because it's a brand new section. So we click that same Add T button, and now I can type in whatever item I want, and I'm going to type in decks and handrails. So now I have a new inspection item here called decks and handrails, and I want to make an auto comment. So I'm going to select my magic wand here. There's my local list. I don't have any. So I'm going to go up to the global by selecting this plus bar. That gets me, now here I am at the global list, and then I can go wherever I want. So I'm going to come over here and look at exterior decks and porches. All right, so let's say that I want every single one of these comments in here. If you could see, I could demonstrate, but what you need is you need to hold your finger on the shift key. So I would highlight that first one, which is automatically highlighted, and I would scroll down to the bottom one, and I'd hold the shift key down, which I just did, and I clicked, and that highlights everything in that list. So then I'm going to select OK. And now all of those came down into this local list. So when I select cancel here, here's decks and handrails. So when I go into my Magic One now I've got all the comments for my new inspection item. And this is my local list. So let's go up and let me show you just something else here, how you can make this better. Let's say that I'm under exterior decks and porches, and I want to create some subfolders. Maybe you want this. Some of you guys have lots of comments, and when you come to clicking your Magic Wand and you have such a long list, and you having to scroll and scroll, we have something here called Category Filter, and Category Filter uses these folders here or categories, and you can subfolder, put these in subcategories and select them, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you how you can limit what you see and speed things up. So I want to make a subfolder of decks and porches. So one thing I'm going to do is come down here and I'm going to click Add. If I highlighted exterior and click this little Add button, I would have a new main category. But I could do that, but I'm going to highlight decks and porches and select Add. So I'll have a subcategory, and we'll call this decks. And I want to go back to decks again, and then I can call this, floor, deck floor if I want. And then I'm going to go back and call it, hit Add again, and call this category handrail. All right, and so now I've got 3 categories, and I could continue breaking this down, but let's go to the main one. So I guess I just saw this one. Let me go do one more. So I'm going to leave it there and hit Add, and I'll call this deck structure. Okay. Now all you have to do is go to one of these comments here, and you can drag it and drop it in. All you do is, if you're using a mouse, you left click, and then you start to drag it. And as I get close, you see there looks like a little rectangle underneath my little cursor there. So I'm going to go to where I want it to go, like deck structure, and let go. The deck needs cleaning, so I'm just going to drag this one over to maybe decks and deck floor, and I could make another category, but we'll just give you an example here. I'm going to go to, wait a minute, you can only do one at a time, so let's go to floor and guardrail. So I'm going to take this over here to the handrail and structure, stairs, and joists. So I could make me a quick category here and call it stairs. And then I'm just going to drag this stair one over onto the stairs. Okay, and then I'm going to select OK. When you come up here to this filter, because all those comments were in this local list, now they're separated by the subcategory I made. So here's just my deck floor, and there's just my deck structure, decks in general, handrail, stairs, and of course if you had 50 comments, now you only have 7 or 8 in each category. This is how you can use the filter to speed up your process on selecting your comments. Okay, let's see here. When you make your changes, just make sure you hit Save T, and it'll remember it, so it'll be there for you next time. All right, I'm going to come back in about 30 seconds. Hold on just a minute. Let me check with Shancy for a second. Okay, we're back, and I want to show you a couple more things here. Let's go back up and just take a look again. Template, all comments, and here are the little categories we made. You see that little plus bar now, so when I click on it, it drops down just like any folder tree and shows me where all my comments are. So you can go through this folder tree and make as many subfolders as you want and name it whatever you want, and then just drag your comments in. And eventually, once you do, you'll be able to take advantage of when you go to your auto comment list, click on this filter, and you'll be able to filter by your categories. While we're here, this is all kind of all about comments. If you were building this template and we just built extra building, let's say, for instance, we wanted to add plumbing to the extra building in a general term. Because I'm at the inspection item area, I click Add T up here, and now I can type a new inspection item. And let's just say I type in all plumbing. There's my new inspection item, so I'm going to go to the magic wand. I don't have any comments. So I could come up here and do the plumbing, and let's go to plumbing drain waste event. And we already told you how you can hold the shift key down and grab all of them. Another trick is if you're trying to grab just a few of them at a time, you can hold the control key down. And when you do, you got to keep the control key pressed on your keyboard, and then you can just select the ones that you want. So you can skip a few. So let's just, for example, say that we didn't want those and we want this one, and maybe this last one. Then when I select OK, the ones that I selected come down. All right, so that's just another little trick. Also, another feature that we have is where you could literally bring in comments from another template or from another inspection item. So if we go up here to, let me just delete this inspection item. And by the way, when I delete the item, the comments are gone in that local list, but they're still up there in the global. So I could have gone over here to plumbing, and here's plumbing, drain, waste, and vent. Let's hit my magic wand, and you see I've got all the comments already there. And maybe I wanted that for my extra building. And let's go to styles and materials. Look, they're all here as well. So I'm going to just highlight, it's highlighted here, and I'm going to hit copy T. And you see paste T lit up. So I'm going to come down here to extra building, and then I'm going to hit paste T. And so I just pasted that inspection item with all its auto comments, and they came over with it. And so when I go to styles and materials, I don't have any. I can go to the plumbing, and then here's, let's go to plumbing water supply here. I can hit copy T, go to extra building, and select paste T, and just keep going back. So that's how you can borrow or reuse comments that were in another inspection item and put them somewhere else. All right, so let's go over here to general info for a minute. Here's your comment key and definition. So if later, if you haven't already, you can go to template, edit column headers, and then once you do, you can see how you can change your column headers to satisfactory, good, fair, poor, whatever you want by using these little buttons here. Now, if you do that, you change it up, then you're going to need to come over here to general info where your report intro page is created and change these identifiers or comment keys to whatever you change yours to. So if you changed it to good, fair, poor, you would need to come here and change it. So here's a common misconception when you first get HomeGauge. If you click in here, it does let you change it. So right here you can see I'm able to change the comment. The problem with that is it can kind of fool you. You think it's there for the next time you open up your template, but that's not true. This is a report change feature. When I'm typing in here, I'm only changing it for this report. And let's take that example over to our overviews. Same thing here. I can type in here and say, we also do not inspect whatever, the red building on the property. And that would just be for this one report. If I want to change it for all reports, then I need to go to the actual auto comment that this is pulled from. So I'm going to use this magic wand, and here is the comment that is pulled from. And so adding would get me to the global tree. I don't need to do that. I want to add it, and that's what this wrench is. So I'm going to select edit. And so now I can type in whatever I want, and when I OK it out, I'll need to hit this Save T or Save Template, and it'll save it for my next inspection. Whenever I select this template again, these changes will appear because I'm changing it in the auto comment, not in the report as it was over here. You see this check here, automatically include this comment on report start. That's the reason why every time you open up your template, this comment is already there. And I'll refer you back to the original, to the earlier webinar that Shancy did. She spends a little bit of time on this and some of the other buttons. So this will tell you how to attach a document or attach a picture to a comment, and she goes over that as well. But automatically include this comment on report start. That's if some of you guys don't want to have a header and a footer above every section, and maybe you want to tighten it down or clean it up. All you need to do is just take the check out of each one of these, and you would just go down the list. So there's roofing. So I'd come over to exterior, hit this little magic wand. There's my exterior header, and then I'd come up here and take the check out if I didn't want it on future reports. And then once you OK yourself out, obviously, like I said, you select template, and next time you open it up, then those changes would take effect. Okay, so general info, let's go here for just a minute. We talked about the comment key and definitions. Typing in here is only for the report. It's not actually for the template change. So if I wanted to change this, I need to hit my magic wand. And when I do, I need to go find the one that says comment key. So there's the one that says comment key. So I'm going to select edit. And now you can type and change your report intro page to whatever you want. And the reason why it appears is because it says automatically include. And while we're here, just to show you, some inspectors don't know that you're able to actually add more to your report intro page. You can see this one here has some information on if your home's more than 5 years old, what to expect, or for instance, this fixer-upper. You can read these later. Some inspectors, like myself, actually don't want to do an inspection if the electrical or electricity or water's not on. But some of you that might get pushed into it can drop one of these comments in and let them know exactly what you weren't able to inspect, which is a lot. So a lot of times agents and buyers aren't familiar with all the areas that you couldn't really inspect good when there's no water. So this particular comment could be dropped in to say, here are all the things I wasn't able to inspect. But it's up to you. But this is how you can, you can add multiple comments to your report intro page beyond just the comment key and definitions. Okay, so that's the general info, and this is the overview header and footer. Remember, you can change them by going to your magic wand, highlighting it, select edit, and then make your changes. Let's look at some more. Let's bring a picture in. Let me go to exterior for a minute. Inspection items, eaves, soffits, and fascias. And I want to bring this picture in, and I'll just make it large for you guys to see. And so here, we can put an arrow or a circle or whatever on the picture. And then we can do a line out for text and hit T for text. And here I can type something in freehand, or I can use my magic wand. And when I do, you'll see this list. Now, some of you guys has been with me since version 2, 3, and you may not see this list. I think sometime in version 4, when I updated the templates, I made this list. If you don't have it, when you select it, it's just going to be a blank window like you seen earlier when I was showing you how to bring something down from the global down to this local list. So for those of you that don't have a list right now, you could go to this little magic wand, the little plus bar, and that'll get you to your global list. And you can make your own area if you want, but actually I put them in introductions and footers, and then I put them right here under picture text, quick comments. And so you won't have that word on your template if you're using an old template and you've updated into version 5 with that old template. So what you would do is you click on Introductions and Footers, select the little plus bar here, and then you could type in, if you don't have to type in what I said there, but you could, picture text, quick comments. And then once you make that little window, then yes, you would need to sit here and go, make up your list. And once you make up your list, you can highlight them all, select OK, and they'll fall down into this local list. So the next time you select this little magic wand, you can come over here and select something really fast, drop it in, select OK, and then use it like that. All right, so that's how to get to your picture text quick comments, just like that. Another feature is down here on the bottom. Let's go to exterior. We're here, so let's go to, let me go to walkways and retaining walls. And I'm going to show you a couple of features at once. Some of you aren't familiar with this itemize, how to itemize your comments. I strongly recommend this little button. It just does a good job at separating the comment and the pictures together. So when your buyer reads it, they see the comment and the picture, and then they'll see another comment and that picture, and so on. This would eliminate you from having to say, see picture 1, see picture 2. So let's start just by bringing in a driveway here. So I'm going to bring in this driveway, and whatever's wrong, let's say it's deteriorated, I'm going to select on the window, hit my little magic wand, put deteriorated. All right, and then I'm going to select OK. And then now I need to type in a comment. And so I can either freehand type or I can use my little magic wand. And so I've got a smart sentence here. This will be just a little bit of an intro into it. And I'm going to go ahead and select it. And this is just a little building box, you might say. And so it says the identify. And so I can look here at all my choices. Identify is just a smart word that I made, and I'm going to show you before we get out of here tonight how to make your own. But I'm going to select the concrete drive, and so there it is. And when I hit insert, you'll see it change here at the bottom. The concrete drive at the where, at the front of home. What's the defect? And then I can come over here and say are deteriorated in areas. What's the implication? A general replacement is likely. And what do you recommend? A qualified contractor. All right, now I went slow, but it's a good time to tell you about tablets and pen tablet computers. There's the HomeGauge companion. So there's other webinars that we'll do to talk about all these different devices. These smart sentences work really well if you can adapt or get into the habit of using a tablet out in the field. And my laptop looks just like a laptop, and the screen swivels, lays down over the keyboard, and it's like a slate. And so when I would go and I'd find 2 items, that's kind of was my rule. I walk around in that room until I find 2 items. I stop, I suspend up on my tablet, I pick in those 2 items by going to my auto comments, and then I hit stand by, and I move on until I find 2 more items. And that's kind of my method. Well, these smart sentences can get really fast because you're using a stylus pen, and you'll just have to experience them and start to develop your own in order to gain speed. But we're going to show the example of itemization, and here we are at the driveway, and we just used the driveway. And let's say, for instance, that we went around the side of the house and we found these steps, and these steps here have some loose rocks, and they go here as well because we're using an item that also has walkways besides driveways. So this is a great time to hit this little itemize button. And when I do it, you'll see a new folder created. So let me just go over here and select it. So there's my second folder. Here's my first folder talking about the concrete drive and being deteriorated. Here's my second folder. And now I'm going to bring this set of steps in. And then I'm going to use my little arrow here and pick out a few rocks that are loose. T for text maybe, come up here and see if I've got something that says loose right there, drop it in, and there we go. And I'm going to select OK. Now I've got this other set of steps, and what I could do, I could let them figure out which steps these are, but I just want to show you a picture label opportunity. So in here I can freehand type and say front, or I can use my little magic wand, and when I click it, you'll see another local list that I made. Again, some of you guys that are had used the older versions and kept your template all the way through up to version 5, you may not see this list when you click on it. If you don't, you can click your little global list here, and you come down here to introductions and footers, and you see this little plus bar. Of course, you won't have one, but at picture text, you could click add and create you another one called picture labels. And then here's where I created picture labels. And as you can see, sometimes I went ahead and included a smart word, which I'll show you in a minute where those are at, and that'll give me multiple choices with that one word. So you would select OK and build them, and they would just fall in here like your local list. So the next time you select this magic wand, you can come over here, and you can say deck rear, sunroom, look for front of home. So here's something that says front of home. I'll drop that in. So that describes the front of home. And then I can bring this other picture directly over top of that one. And let's say that rock was loose too, and this one. So I can come over here and select loose. And then here I can just say rear of home, or I can see if it's in my list of comments. I can freehand type, but let's click magic wand. Let's look for rear of home, and I don't see it. I could go here to location exterior, but let me just show you how to add one. I'm going to select add. I'm in the picture labels here, and I'm going to select this add button again because I'm in my global list. So I'm going to make a new one, and I'm going to say rear of home. And if you look up here, you also have a little short, says comment for a short name. As you build these, you may want to go ahead and put something in there. So when you go to the HomeGauge companion, there's a little feature that lets you see just the short names, and that allows you to glance real quick, even here in the desktop. And I'll show you later where those are at. You've probably seen them, many of you have already. So we're going to select OK. It fell into my global list, a new comment I made. Select OK. Now it's in my local list. So the next time I need it, I can come here and select rear of home. So now I've added to my comment library, and I'm going to hit Save T, and that will remember my changes. And so on picture 1, it says front of home and those steps, and you see I'm at the Itemize To tab here, and picture 2, rear of home. So let's just go ahead and start up a magic wand here for an auto comment, and this is those little comment name shortcut keywords. So let me select edit real quick, and you see driveway, walkway. So that comes in handy many times when you're building a long sentence or you have a big long-winded comment. You can put a little shortcut keyword there for yourself to spot. So that's what I want. I'm going to start it up, and it says de-identify. And so in this case, I'm going to look for the rock steps. And so I'm going to select insert. So it says the rock steps at the where, and I can say at the front of home and rear of home. Insert. What's the defect? Are loose in areas. What's the implication? Water can cause further deterioration, and if not repaired and sealed properly. And if you saw something here that if you didn't see something here that you wanted, you can add something real quick, and then that will allow you to continually build your auto comment library. So we're going to drop that in. What do you recommend? A qualified contractor. All right, and so let's just do a quick print preview here. And when I get to style and format, you can come here and pick the ones that you like. There's different kind. I'm just going to select something here. Pick that one. And let's scroll down and see. So you remember how we itemized? So because we itemized, it says the concrete drive, and then there's that picture. And then your buyer would come down and see the second one, the rock steps, and then there are those pictures. So itemization works really well to allow you to separate each picture and comment and keep the one that they belong to together. And it's a great feature. Okay. So let me see if there's any questions. I'm going to put you on hold for just a few seconds, and we'll come right back. Okay, I'm back, and we did have one question. You remember who it was? All right. One of the gentlemen, one of you guys asked, can you take comments you've already prepared in like a Word document and get them in here? And the answer is yes. But what we want you to do is to grab your comments and throw them in WordPad to remove these invisible tags that Microsoft Word puts on them. If you didn't, whenever you drop the comment in and you type, the font's going to look different. So what you would do is, let's just take this one for example. Let's go to ease. I'll hit my magic wand. I'll go up to my global list, and then I'll go to exterior and go to eaves. And then here's where I want to put those comments. And let's say I had a Word document. I would just select this add button here, and now I'm ready to type one in. And so I don't have a Word document, but I could pretend I pulled up my Word document, I copied, and I threw it. As long as I had thrown all my comments into WordPad, I could have highlighted the right comment, pasted it in here, and then I could have selected OK, and it have fell in here, and I select OK again. It brings it down to my local list, and then I could go right back up and bring in another one. So it does work. For those of you that are sitting on a bunch of comments you've got in Microsoft Word, we just tell you to throw it into WordPad first to eliminate the invisible tags and stuff that's in there. If you didn't, it would still work, but your comment's going to have a different looking font. And so you probably won't like that, especially if you start typing right beside it. You'll be wanting to know why is your font different, and it's just the way Microsoft Word is. Okay, so let's make a smart sentence, but before we do, I want to take you up to template, all smart text. Now we went up to template and chose a global list, and that has all of our comments in it. This actually has all of our smart words in it. And show you one more time, we just come up here to template, and there's all comments, and here's all smart text. All connectors, this is where you can move these up or down. That's when you want to say at the front of home, and then you go and also at the rear of home or something like that. But we'll go up here to template, all smart text. Here are the smart words. And all this is trying to eliminate you from having to have a bunch of repetitive comments to look at. Now, I made these up the way I made them up. You don't have to follow this. I'll later show you that you could have a smart letter. It doesn't have to be a word. It doesn't have to be in all caps. You don't have to have parentheses or anything like that. I try to make it in a sensical fashion, going by IDEA, identify the defect, explain, advise. But I'll show you in a minute that you could actually make your own. So let's do one. Let's go to extra building, and I want to make a comment here for let's do gutters. I'm going to select add, and I'm going to say gutters and downspouts. And I'm going to go to my magic wand. Now we could go over here and find some under roofing. I can go to drainage and gutters, and I can grab all these, right, and bring them down. I can hold my control key down and select the ones I want. But let's just move to adding making our own smart sentence for a minute. And to do that, you would go like you're getting ready to make any other auto comment. So let's take it up from the top here. I'm here at the inspection item. I select my magic wand. It gets me to my local list. I go up to my global. I'm at my global at the right category, and now I want to add me a comment. I select add, and now I can type in a regular sentence. The gutter is rusted. Or I can type in and build me a smart sentence, which is what I want to do. So I want to recommend that you guys, when you build one, come up with just one sentence of a defect or something. I'll say the gutter is damaged at rear of home. Okay, and there's my comment. I could select it, and then I would have to type another one. The gutter's damaged at front of home, and so on. And then the gutter is leaking, and the gutter needs cleaning. And so rather than create 100 comments with a little bit of a variation, we came up with smart words. And so let's see how we can do this. And like I said, the best thing to do is just put a regular sentence up like this, and then you can highlight what you're going to make a smart word. So I'm going to highlight the word gutter, just like that. And then now when I use this plus bar, when I hover over it, it says Insert Smart Text. So I'm going to hit Insert. Here I can actually borrow from something else I've got. I can come in here and choose Identify. So I would go to Identify and I'd look for guttering, and I've got something in here, or roofing. But what I want to do is I want to make my own to show you. So I'm going to select this little plus bar here, and I need to type a new smart word. Okay, so the smart word could say gutter downspout, and I'm going to select OK. So now I have a new smart word that says gutter downspout. I need to make some replacement text for that. So right here I am. This is highlighted. You see this one has different ones. But when I go to gutter downspout, I don't have any. I want to make some, so I'll select this little add bar. And so I'll say, I have the word the already in my sentence, so I just want to make note of that. And I'm going to go to the gutter. And then I can say the downspout. And we can add to that later, but that's good enough. I'm going to select OK. And now, as you see, we've got a smart word developed here. And you'll notice that little asterisk. And you'll have to play around with the spacing on this. I can tell that this one kind of came in a little too close to the word is, so I just put a space there. So the gutter downspout, and then I've got is damaged. What I can put is I can highlight damaged here. And actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight is damaged. And then I need something about defect, right? So I could go look for defect gutter, and I probably got something in there about it. But let's go to make our own. I'm going to select add, and I'm going to say defect gutter, whatever you want to come up with. And so what is wrong? The gutter is, or the downspout is rusted. And damaged. And we'll just put a couple more. Needs cleaning, or clogged, missing. That's good enough. And we'll select OK. So now under defect gutter, I have all these choices, and you see up here I can tell I need to just put a little space right there. So the gutter downspout defect at where, and then here I can just highlight, and I'm gonna remind you not to add a period in your choices. So when we come over here for location, we're going to select add, and again I can put location. Well, let me just borrow one to show you that you could use some of mine. So let's go to location exterior. Let's see what this one says. Yeah, so here we've got one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select OK, and there it is. And I need to put a little space there. And then I'll put the period after the asterisk. And just so you know, the asterisk is what tells our software, back when we coded it, that anytime you have an asterisk and an asterisk, whatever's in between that is a smart word. And so that's how our software knows. So you can't get rid of an asterisk. You got to keep those. Or if you make them, you got to make sure that you've got an asterisk on each side. All right, so I'm going to select OK. And there it is. I didn't do a little keyword. Let me just go back to edit here. Type in a keyword, gutter downspout. That's just for me to spot later in a hurry. So there it is. I'm going to select OK again. It's going to fall into my local list. So there it is. Now what we'll do is we'll just start it up. So here we are. The what? I can say the gutter and downspout. What's wrong with it? Are missing. Where at the front of home or rear of home. And in this case, I guess I should have, I can add one and say at the front of home. And then that'll be there for me in another future report when I want to select it. So then we read it to make sure I did it right. The gutter and downspout are missing at the front of home. All right, so that's how you make a smart word. That's not too hard, right? We getting any no? So everybody seems to be happy or asleep. All right, so I got one guy that says, show it to me again, and I want to show you something a little different so you can understand how much freedom you have on building one of these. All right, so let's go to components. I'm going to select add. I'm going to call it the universe. I'm just going to have a little fun with you guys. All right, universe, and then we're going to go into an inspection item, and we're going to call it planets. And then I'm going to use my magic wand. I don't have anything. I'm going to go to my global list. I don't have anything. And right now I'm just going to go up to uncategorize. I'm going to select add. And then here's where I can type in, like I said, start with a sentence. And I'll say the cow jumped over the moon. All right. And then I'm just going to highlight the word cow. Select the the add to get to my smart list. And then I'm going to just call this one animals. And then I'm going to select add and call it cow and pig and dog. Okay, you got the idea. I'll select OK. There we go. And then now it jumped over the moon. So I'm just going to click on jumped. And I'll call this action. Jumped and hopped. Select OK. And I can tell I need a space there. And then I'm going to say over the moon. I'm going to say I can do another one, right? Over, under, through. You guys starting to figure that out. The moon. So let's just highlight moon. And we'll do some more here. Planets. So we'll say the moon. And the sun. Is somebody going to tell me the sun's not a planet? Okay, so maybe it's a star. Maybe it's a star. All right, y'all forgive me on that. Saturn. Okay, that's not spelled right. My fingers got ahead of it. Okay, Saturn. All right, so I'm going to select OK. And select OK over the planets. I'll put a period there. Select OK. And that's in my global list now. I want to select OK. It's going to fall down into my local list. I want to put the X there to use it. Insert. So the what? The pig insert jumped over the. I guess the Saturn wouldn't have worked out. Over the moon. All right. So let's start that up again. Jumped over, and here's, once you're building a big sentence, I guess I could show you on a real inspection item. If you wanted to stop ahead of time, you could, let's say that you were building something and you got really close, and now you want to add a totally different sentence, and it makes sense to still use a smart sentence if you had a lot to build real fast. But now you want to get rid of this example planets. You could hit stop replacements, come in here and clean that out, and then finish out whatever you're going to say. Again, my fingers are faster than others. All right. The dog jumped over Saturn. Okay. So now I'm going to go to components. I'm going to highlight universe, and I'm going to delete that. I'm going to hit Save T. But that kind of gives you an idea on how to build your own smart sentence. All right. Now we're moving. We got something good. Don't you guys go to sleep on me yet here. I've got another idea. Let's say some of you guys are really fast typists, and you can type with all fingers. That means you're typing better than me. You could create a smart letter, and let's say that let's go build one real quick. Let me go to template, all smart text, and there's my smart words. Let me add one, and I'm going to add the letter R for recommend. There it is, and then I'm going to select me a paragraph. Now here, let's pretend you had a very long paragraph. Very long recommend paragraph. All right, and then another long paragraph. Okay, so this would allow you to have very long paragraphs, recommend a structural engineer, and all this protection that you need sometimes when you're looking at something. And so it's ready to go. I'm going to select OK. And so here you're typing is, let's go to structural or something. Okay, and so let's just pretend you're typing a very long explanation really fast with your fingers. And then all you've got to do, and I'm going to show you before I do it, for those of you, go to this little wheel here, and to replace smart text, you just need to hold the control and the space key down, or hold the control and hit the space bar, and your smart text is going to pop up. So for you that are very fast typists, you could type in your defect explanation, and then just type in asterisk R asterisk, and then you, like I said, you hold the control and hit the space bar, and then here are your very long paragraphs, like that. All right, so one more time, you're typing away, and you're real fast typing, and you just type in asterisk R asterisk, and then you hold the control and hit the space bar, pick the one that you want, and drop it in. So that'll help some of you guys that took the right class back in high school. I wish I'd have took typing in high school, but I didn't. Okay, another one. All right, another trick is some of you guys, you can go to styles and materials. Let me go to heating, styles and materials, and where it says heat system brand, down here at the bottom it says serial number, and you can type in your serial number there. But some of you guys want to type it in right here. Maybe you're typing in a narrative, and you just want to say the serial number is. So what you could do is you could type in the serial number is, and then you've got to just remember this. That's the word the symbol asterisk, and then in all caps you got to type in Freeform, and then hit asterisk again, and then what do you got to do? I think you got to hit that control space key again. Yeah, and then now you can type in your serial number. You can tell I use it a lot, right? I had to ask Yancy. So you type in, the serial number is, and then you just do all caps Freeform. So you go asterisk, Freeform, and then asterisk, and then go control space, and then now this would allow you to type in a number really quick. You know what? Actually, what I probably should have done, something's acting weird here. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. You know what? Actually, I messed up. All right, we're going to have to cut this out, maybe. All right, apologize, guys. What we should have talked about was you don't want to type in the serial number. What you want to do, let me show you. I haven't used this feature. I apologize. All right, let's go add this feature, all right, under heating if we want to. And then I'm going to go into my magic wand. Let me go to the heat systems. And then go to the global list comment here, and I'm going to say the serial number is, and then asterisk, oh, I'm in all caps, sorry. the serial number is asterisk Freeform, and then I'm going to select OK, and then select OK. And so there it is in the heat system. This really is the example, because it would defeat the purpose if you have to type that in all the time. So the idea would be that you're ready to put the serial number in. So you do your little auto comment, and you scroll down, and you hit this little auto comment here, and you drop it in. And when you do, now you're ready to type in your serial number, or whatever number you want. Okay? That's a whole lot better example than the one I did just a minute ago. Okay, 6:58. Don't leave me. I got something else that's really good, you guys. I'm saving a good one for the last. And let's see here. Let me get a little one out of the way. How to color your auto comments. So some of you guys want to color them. One thing you could do is, and I'm just gonna, I guess I should have went to something worth coloring, like electrical, and maybe something that's not a, something's dangerous. But you could come here and select edit, and then here you have your little color wheel, so you can hit these little horizontal bars that highlights everything, and then now you can turn these red. Okay, that's one way you could have done it. Another way you could have done it is if you went to the summary, and you went to edit summaries here, and here's your general summary. I want to select this Edit T button. Remember this template changing toolbar that we've used? Edit T, and then I could say anytime I select a summary item, turn that comment red. And to do that, I leave this check in, and then I pick a different color, like red. And so I'm going to drop that in, and then come over here, and let's go to electrical, and we'll say that whatever, we'll just use this comment, and then I'm going to select RR, right? And so when I go to print, RR sends it to the summary, and then there's your comment in red. Okay. Reinspection. Reinspection has a really good feature, and I want to show you reinspection at the same time. It has to do with an auto comment, a pass and fail auto comment. A lot of our guys that use HomeGauge just, for some reason, maybe we just haven't been good at explaining or revealing to you that we got a built-in reinspection feature, which is pretty cool. So let's select Open, and let's see. I haven't really. This isn't my computer, but here's one. Let's pretend that. Let's pretend that we did this home inspection a few months ago or a couple months ago, and they called me out to do a reinspection. Okay, and so normally they want you to reinspect the summary items. So I highlight this report, but I don't open it. I come over here to this little wheel, and then I use the command create reinspection from selected report. And this is telling you what it's going to do. It's going to create a copy of the report. It's going to exclude every item in the report except summary items. It's not going to number them different, because a lot of times during negotiation, the realtor and the two realtors negotiate by your inspection item numbers. It's going to put a flag at each summary item, so I can use this feature up here, find flag, and get to them fast and quick. So here it is, reinspection report saved, and today's November 6th, and there it is. So I know that's my reinspection one. So I'm going to select Open. And you can see over here, anything that's been excluded, I already know that those don't have any summary items in them. And most of the time, you'll know that a lot of them, you only have 5, 7, 9 things to look at. But in this example, I've got a few categories, but instead of trying to search through them, you come up here to Find Unanswered and change it to Find Flag and hit Find First. Here I am in the roofing systems. You see these are red X. These have been excluded in the reinspection because the only thing I found during my initial inspection was under this inspection item. And it said the ridge vent's loose and needs to be fastened. There's the picture. So I need to pass or fail it. So I do that by using this little wheel here. So I click on this wheel, and it says insert a pass or fail comment, and then it says edit. I'm going to go ahead and pass this one. I'm going to click on it. When I do, I get this window. And this window has my auto comments. And I'm going to remind you guys again, some of you guys that have the old template and you update it yourself all the way up to version 5, you're going to get a window that pops up and it's going to say something like, you don't have any smart words in here, select OK, and we're going to put something in for you. And when it does, it's just going to put in an abstract word. At that point, all you need to do is select on this little button here and come up with a better pass comment. You would say, you know, I'm just going to say, another pass comment. Oh, I'm in all caps again, sorry. So this would allow you to have multiple pass comments. You know, some of them you might want to say, oh, it looks great. And, you know, some says, you know, well, I'm going to pass it, but it doesn't, you know, your own words. So we're going to just select that one and drop it in. And it automatically puts the date in. Reinspect it today. The repairs appear to be satisfactory. And there you go. So now I'm going to take this flag out. And it's just telling me what's going on. So once you understand, you can. So I'm going to take this flag out, and I want to hit Find Next Flag. So there I am on these doors, and the patio doors are cloudy or whatever, and let's say they didn't fix that, so I need to turn that down. So I'm going to go to this little wheel here, and I'm going to choose Fail. And fail, the repairs do not appear to be adequate. And this is just my wording. Again, you can select Edit and edit your own, or you can select Add and add your own. So I'm just going to fail it here. And then I'm going to do a couple more. Take the flag out, come over here, and let's say they didn't do this one. When I select this, I want to go to Edit Completion Stamp for just a minute. And it says which one do you want to edit. I want to say I want to edit the fail one. And here are all the fail comments. I created a smart word, and it's called fail comments. We leave this alone date, but under fail comments, I could, if I want to, I could use this little palette here and turn it red. So now, no matter what comments I use, they're going to be in red on my fails. So I would come here and I'd go fail, and I click on that and drop it in, and now that one's done. And then I come to this one, I'll do one more. Let's say they did this one, they cut the bushes or whatever, and I'm just going to come over here and put pass, and here let's say they didn't do the work, and I'll just come over here and hit fail. Alright, so that's how you can use pass-fail comments on your reinspection. When you get through with this, you turn around and upload it, and as long as you had the same report ID, I'm going to go to report info here. As long as you left this alone, it will find the original document and put itself, this reinspection, right beside it. So it won't be at the very top of your reports like they normally are if you got the same report ID, but they would be together. And and it's up to you whether you wanted it that way, because if you have the same customer, if you have the same customer, in this case, I was pretending that I'm the customer. Then the same username, it's going to work. So when that buyer signs in, she's still going to see the original inspection that you did for her, and then she's going to see this one called reinspection. So it works great like that. All right, so I'm kind of looking through here, see if I've forgot anything. I'm going to ask Shancy, or ask you guys, those of you, we still got over about 40 of you still here. Is there any, if you have a question, can you turn on that raise your hand thing? Yeah, so she's got a little feature there called raise your hand, or I don't know. If you look over there, you should see some little hand you can click on. There, I just saw it pop up. So if any of you guys want to either ask a question or type in your question, you can hit raise that hand and type it in. I'll give you 30 seconds, a minute to type something in. And any question at all, it don't even have to be about auto comments. But if you have one about auto comments or any question, now's the time. So I'll come back in about 30, 45 seconds. Okay, guys, I do have one guy wanting to give a quick demo on Autofill, and for those of you that don't know about it, it's a really neat feature. And some of you that, if you want, you can go ahead and start typing to Shancy a little bit of your question or something, and we'll get to that right after this. Autofill. Let's go look at Autofill. This is a really cool feature that'll save you a lot of time on some developments. And I've got guys using it in ways that I never thought, and that's usually what happens with HomeGauge. It does more than I think it can do, and it's just up to the user to be creative. But autofills, if we come up here to the word report at the top, we can apply a report fill or save a report fill. And so let me give you an example. Let's say that we went to a development, and in that development, and you might go there once every month or two. It's a huge development. Everything's the same. It's got vinyl siding. It's got architectural shingles. Everybody's got a porch. Everybody's got concrete driveways. Everybody's got steel doors. Let's pretend we're doing that inspection and we pull up in that development. So we come over here to exterior, and for those of y'all that don't know this shortcut, if you're trying to click down really fast, you can double click the column header label up here, and you can X. You see how I just double click and it'll X everything down? So when you're finishing up your report, that's a cool little shortcut feature just to check everything off so you don't have to sit there and click in each and every box. But let's say wall cladding looks good, doors, windows, decks, and let's say that there's something inherent with this development, which is similar to the one where I live. It used to be a cow pasture and a lot of clay, and so they have a lot of impressions all over this development. And when it rains, there's little bitty ponds for a few days and around a lot of people's homes. And so I could come here and say this development has standing water at times when it rains. And of course, maybe I would have a little better comment, but you guys don't want to wait on my 2 fingers. Now you know why I like those smart sentences with the pen a whole lot faster than my 2 fingers. All right, so I have a comment here, and that applies on every single time I do an inspection here. I could use that. And I've checked off all this, and let's go to styles and materials, and let's say it's lap, and the siding material is vinyl. So we check that. The entry doors were steel, and the porch, everything has a covered porch. They all have sidewalks, and the driveways are all concrete. All right, now I could come right up here right now. I could do more, but even if I just wanted the outside and that was it, I could come up here to report, and I'll select Save Report Fill. And then here it says, what do you want to save based on your sections? And I say, well, I just want to save my exterior, and I'm going to call it BDD development. So you can name these accordingly. And I'm going to select OK. All right, and so now I'm just going to say new, and I'm starting, let's say a month from now, I select my template, and I pull in to that same BBD development or whatever I said. All right, I could say, hey, let me go over here to exterior just to show you there's nothing there. And I could say, I got a report fill for that. I could come up here to report, choose apply report fill, and then here are all the different examples we might have done in the past, but there's the one that I just did a few seconds ago, BDD development, and I'm going to select OK, and I'm going to select the exterior, OK. It says report fill has been applied. When I select OK, you see everything's checked off, and even my comment remains. And when I go to styles and materials, they're all checked off. So technically, you could start with a completed report every time. And some guys do. Some of them leave off the real liability ones like chimneys and fireplaces and furnaces or whatever. When you do save a report fill, it wants to save everything. So a lot of times it's good if you save it with pictures, it's going to save the pictures too. So you would have to delete those pictures and then save it. So you might want to get through with your report, and then you can do a copy of your report if you want it to. So here's open. You could go find that report, and instead of doing a reinspection, you create a copy, and then you could do a report fill. But a lot of times guys are out in the field and they do exactly what I did before pictures even came into play. They just did their comments, they checked everything off, and they saved a report fill. Okay. Any questions? Okay, we got a few questions coming, so I'm gonna mute myself for just a few seconds and get one of you guys' question. Hold on a second. Hey, so I got one question that's just is going to get a fairly quick answer. It was asked whenever you maybe reuse an inspection, but now you have a different buyer, what's the best way to do that? And there's different ways, and I know that I respect different people's opinions on that, whether they do one from scratch or whether they take an existing one. I guess it depends on how long ago that report was. But you just select open here, go find that report that you did for, in this case, a Danica sample, and I'm going to come over here and select create a copy of the selected report. Select yes, and then at that point I would just go find the one that I just, these are right now, these are completely identical. So I pick one and I open it, and then I would change the report ID and would take a look at my date and change my date, and then I would probably do a print preview and make sure I get rid of all the pictures and take fresh pictures and do a review. That's me, but I know there's probably different ways some inspectors might do that. So we're looking for another question, so hold on just a second. Texas template. So we got somebody from Texas. Thanks for logging on. Yeah, it's going to be available. I'm going to try, let's see. I'm going to probably go ahead and get it ready by the end of this month. That way everybody's got a full month to look at it. But rest assured, you're going to be in full compliance. It'll be in, it might even happen next week. I have been looking at it, and there's some subtlety changes to it, not a lot, but I'm aware of them, and we'll have that by the let's say by Thanksgiving, okay? So by the end of Thanksgiving, or the very next news alert, we're going to definitely mention Texas. So you'll have it for the whole month of December, getting ready for your switch, which they only give you 0 time, less than 24 hours to switch. So that's kind of odd, but we'll have you ready for that. Yeah, so it does not have an issue. The phone, but not the tablet. So let me repeat a question that one guy had. Using the HomeGauge companion, the Android, there's different devices out there. Most guys are going with their phones, and if you haven't tried it with your phone, you ought to. But if you do get a tablet, we used to tell you just about any Android tablet will work. You got to make sure it has a flash on the back, and a lot of tablets, for some reason, a year and a half or more ago, they were flash, everything had a flash. Now all of a sudden the tablets are coming out without a flash. However, there is one called the Samsung Note 3, and it is not recommended. And the reason why is that's if you use video. So if you're not using video, it's going to work for you. But if you use video, the video feature doesn't work good. And long story short, the Samsung Note 3 has a different codec, some little code thing at the end that allows video to play, and they came out with something proprietary, and our video device, our third-party video feature that we put in HomeGauge so you can use video while it uses MP4 and it can some of these other conversions of codec, the Samsung Note 3 is not compatible at the moment. Okay, okay. All right. The Galaxy 3. Sorry, me and Shancy were saying Note 3, but we were just corrected by the nerd, Chief Nerd Sean. So it's the Galaxy tablet, the Samsung Galaxy tablet, Samsung Galaxy 3 tablet. It will not play video, which is a shame. We got to figure out what's going on with that. So for right now, we'll not get that. But the Samsung Note is the Note 3. That's your phone, and that works just fine. And they're the really big phones. If y'all haven't seen those, I mean, they just come out not too long ago, and Kate here in our office has one. They're really nice size phones. You got to go look at one of those. Those things are awesome. We put HomeGauge Companion on it, and it works great. And I think you'll be happy with that too. Shancy just mentioned the word iPhone, so one of you guys is wondering about the iPhone. We got a news alert coming out probably tomorrow that will show you that we actually are almost through of developing the iPhone, and so it's so close. We're trying to shoot by the end of the year. We just want to make sure it's debugged really well before we give it to you guys. So the news alert coming out tomorrow, something for November here 2013, you'll be able to see the iPhone and the HomeGauge Companion on it, and pretty soon you'll be able to use it. So that's cool. All right, guys. We're seeing if you got one more question. Does anybody have any question about anything they'd like to ask involving the software? Anybody? Anything? What is it? Yeah, the iPad. So the iPhone and iPad, when that does come out, either one of those will work. And the iPhone is kind of small, but you'll be able to use the HomeGauge Companion on it really easy, especially for pictures, videos, and voice notes. Guys, when we close out, you're going to get a little thank you, and it's going to ask you to give us feedback. So let me know what feedback you have, good, bad, or indifferent. We'll take it. Just checking to see if anybody has any more questions. All right, guys, if you got ideas on what I should have covered, if I didn't cover it well enough, or you wish I would have talked more about something, put it in the letter. Or if you want me to do a webinar, or Shancy or any of us here, about something else, we are coming out. We're going to have lots of webinars. Start kind of keeping an eye. We're going to try to have at least 2 a month, maybe more. So if you got a topic in mind, let me know. And once again, I appreciate you guys taking the time, and thank you so much for being HomeGauge customers, and we love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, I'm signing out.